How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to BioMutant.
Да. Во-первых, с NPS, во-вторых, мне нужен будет твой совет, Фугас. Какую озвучку делать? Русскую или английскую? Вот так вот на русском. Сейчас увидишь. Она ужасная, она меня бесит. Как писали в отзывах, ни на что же она была похожа. Конечно, озвучка только к какому-то фильму. Вот прям один в один. Не, раскачка там просто ужасный. Так, сейчас, минуту. Делаю чуть чат побольше. Раскачка ему нравится. Ишь ты. Давай, лидер. Ну, я вот тоже чуть-чуть поиграл, не знаю. Какую сложность бывает, кстати? Как думаете? Ну, а кепская вот высокая. Я не спорю, что ее делали 20 человек, но она не стоит 3500, понимаешь?
Зашифруй свою ДНК.
Ну вот что это за озвучка? Текс. Фугас, тебе не стыдно? А на стиме стоит 60 баксов. Ну, пиупау это, в принципе, можно выключить. Это как он там называется? Эффект комиксов или как-то так. Это можно выключить. Так что нет, Фугас, ты не прав, она стоит 60 баксов. Ну окей, хотя 60 баксов, то сейчас где-то и будет 3500. Так, не начинайте тут мне. Вот что, вот посмотри на них. Хугас, вот что это? Я думал, там обычный енот. А вот это вот что? Вот это ж нормальный. Обычно это кто для тебя? Я, по-моему, бывал, когда пробовал чисто так, минут 5-10. Я, по-моему, бывал вот этого, Рекса. Вроде как. Это вообще по нему видно, что да, интеллект подкачал. Ну прям по нему вот сразу видно, что у него интеллект подкачал. Как бы без вариантов. В смысле стандартный? Вот этот стандартный? Я бы не сказал, что он стандартный. Тут, в принципе, стандартных нету, потому что у любого что-то будет в минус уходить. Видишь? То ж реально проще взять Рекса. Ну я Рекса ему как и брал. Ой, вот это вот...
Определи свою генетическую
Вот
структуру.
это, знаешь, это вот... Главное, чтобы это не приснилось ночью. Потому что это просто жесть. Это просто на грани смеха и какого-то лютого ужаса, когда начинаешь вот такую вот фигню творить. Это просто жесть. Я понимаю, что это все, как говорится, по сюжету, но все же. Ну, пускай он такой и будет. Посередине. И не спалили мне сюжет. Не, действительно, пускай будет посередине.
Выбери генетическую особенность.
То же самое.
Выбери стиль меха. Выбери основной цвет. Выбери цвет отметин. Выбери класс. Наемник.
А вот тут я играл наемником, когда только начинал.
Меткач. Наемник.
И тут я, честно говоря, пока не знаю.
Наемник.
Так. Два вида и холодное оружие.
Меткач.
Фугас, так откуда инфа, что 35 баксов стоит игра?
Командос. Пси-чистота. Диверсант. Страж.
Да,
Наемник.
буду наемником.
Выбран наемник. Выбери класс. Наемник. Меткач.
Какие два... вместо вот
Наемник.
этого? Ты о чем?
Меткач. Командос. Пси-чистота.
Где тут увидишь двух
Диверсант.
мечников? А, вот этого, что ли? Диверсанта?
Наемник. Диверсант. Наемник. Команд. Диверсант. Диверсант.
Не, я буду наемником.
Выбран наемник. Неплохо.
Вот ты послушал, да?
Вот кто-то с непростым прошлым оказался в центре истории, которая шла своим чередом.
Да-да-да.
We're already at a crossroads.
Ну, согласись, лучше озвучка.
Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living.
Ну согласись, на английском лучше. На русском она просто ну никакая.
But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice.
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and
Да, вот он какой-то вот нудный, какой-то, не знаю, какой-то он однообразный. Я вот не знаю.
But what comes around goes all the way back around. So, it's better to stick to your instincts.
Ох
You
ты,
can't
ёпти.
fight
Давно
what's
не
in your
заходили ко
nature.
мне боты.
In your nature, and here I was hoping we'd be all about natural selection, survival of the strongest, and so forth. If that's not instinct, then I don't know what is.
Natural selection is all about evolution and progress. And as soon as there's enough light, darkness will disappear.
Ох.
Right is always right.
Кстати, лагов нет, но не считает сейчас, кто я был. Или лагает игра.
Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others.
Отлично. Но на первом мне, по-моему, все на ультра стоит. Ну, по требованиям там, в принципе, и предполагалось так.
Do you remember the beast that shattered
Как бы
your
да.
family? Or did you choose to forget?
Ну, видишь, что...
Turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile,
Тут
the
все зависит
predator
от
only grew
оптимизации.
stronger.
Ну, тут, в принципе, с оптимизацией все нормально. Да мы ничего не говорим такого, Хугас.
Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story.
Вот этот момент я пока еще не решил. Ну, по идее, да, там посмотрим. Ну, вроде как игра, по-моему, на 25
It
часов
was
или
best
как-то
to
так.
run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Slash and dash. Almost there. Flash the slash.
Единственное, знаешь, Фугас, какую я инфу увидел, что есть короче вот Origin, а есть их новое приложение EA Desktop называется. И там вроде как ночью была цена 300 с чем-то рублей или около того. И типа некоторые успели ее купить по такой цене. Или там, я не помню, ну, конечно, намного дешевле. Все, вот я первый раз до этого дошел и все. На этом закончил. Снаряга. Так, а где этот? Или я уже типа снарядил? Ладно. Что вот есть? Окей.
The oil sludges everywhere. For most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. A smart foe would leave now. One at half his health. Ching! Chop chop!
Текс.
It's starting to add up.
Ах ты сволочь.
Now that's a flesh wound.
Так, что тут еще есть? Туда нельзя. Так. На 10. Да подумать. А нельзя не бывает ничего. Пускай будет так.
Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight.
Клешня лом. Ох уж этот клешня лом. Ага.
That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa. It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it.
Хугас, ты до этого только на русском услышал озвучку? Тогда понятно.
The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Cutting edge. What a blow! Bullseye. First. Right in the face. Wiped out. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind.
Так, сейчас, минутку.
Bolted shut. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
Блин, это напоминает Horizon, только что ушло немного в другую степь. А так суть та же. Такие немного подлагивает, я так понимаю.
The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing.
Пиу-пиу.
It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Swoop. Carving it up. Wow. One down. Super effective. Close encounter. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Someone will pay dearly for that. You can make something from that. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
Здорово, Джиги. Тут хотя бы он с интонацией что-то читает рассказчик. А там просто вот без никаких этих.
Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
Текс.
Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the second coming, and our lineage. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Majut and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast.
Тут, в принципе, 4 босса, и,
Out
наверное,
of Date
главный
says his
какой-нибудь
friends are
центр.
gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree... His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Majut, and the Goo Glide are almost ready to ride. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
Да, есть немного. Чуть-чуть. А это, кстати, вроде как тот тип, который смахивал на этого. Как его? На Элтона, короче. Фу, не на Элтона, на Элвиса Пресли. Только постаревший, я так понимаю. И прическа поменялась.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb.
Ну, в принципе, смотрел, сколько тут будет, конечно, этих сюжеток. Во-первых, сохраниться надо.
Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged.
В смысле с альтернативными графическими особенностями?
Let's see.
Или был географическими, что я не услышал. Ну, понятно.
Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
Так.
There's out of date again. He must have missed something important. Out of date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe's Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their rivalry with the Jagni tribe. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
Так, что выбрать?
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded.
Так.
Sharp steel. Right where it cuts. Chop it up. You've got more than a flesh wound.
Пока не вшел.
Watch out for you. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone.
Так. Еще где-то полчасика постримлю, буду заканчивать.
That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says just because you've made time to meet the Sifu doesn't mean he has time for you. But you're welcome to give it a try.
Sibi? La panen agin kan man. Gerat na falo putut mus. Tugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. Your Muma invented Wung Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life. He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose, chosen to unite the tribes and take control of their destiny. The tribes need a firm hand guiding them into the future.
Тут очень много разговоров, конечно. Пипец.
Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire... They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Vutskaramotti.
You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks.
Kalabanglif wapala misa. Kalo.
Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon.
Kalabanglif.
Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let you...
Palawala papa lade tik. Ohohotinina.
You were all part of the same tribe once, but without your Muma there as a guide, the disciples turned on each other and formed their own tribes. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village.
Plats. All the goersigara had echt.
Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor.
Galamasa mofete to guy la woodte.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
Alam wenne denken. Gellen denken of woodne ja. Gellet not.
Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you remember.
Да неужели? Ты, конечно, болтаешь, дед.
Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that will be around when you return. Glad to see you stopped keeping to your... Understands completely.
X.
Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Down to half your health.
Ну, у меня где-то 40 FPS. Это 35-40.
Watch it.
Давай делаем поменьше. Поставим вот так. Сейчас скажешь, поменяется что-либо. Лады.
Shot.
Что-нибудь поменялось? Или все так же? А вот я и чем говорил, что типа вот я как-то вот не удивлен вообще ни разу. Чем в прологе, чем в эпилоге было все хорошо. А потом как-то пошло не очень хорошо. О, сейчас должно быть нормально, кстати говоря. Сейчас 560 FPS стало. Ну и картинка немного изменилась, видишь? То есть получается это либо... Ну, тени, скорее всего. Слаживание я делал, так не помогло. А ну-ка давай проверим. Сейчас скажешь, нормально? Или нет? О. Ну сейчас посмотрим, когда будет какая-нибудь битва.
Time is
А тут
lost on
пока
this
это не
place,
показатель.
but it evokes a tingling
Ни разу.
sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer.
Ну ты знаешь насчет Days Gone? Этот, как тебе, кстати, Days Gone? Ну, будет, не знаю. Может, запивачу. Посмотрим. Потому что эту игру я не покупал, если что. Ну и не пиратил. Ну так вот. Насчет этого сравнения. Взять тоже Death Stranding и Horizon, у них движок один и тот же. Но если Death Stranding умеет в оптимизацию, то Horizon вообще никак. К сожалению. Так и тут, видимо.
Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become.
Да-да-да.
This story is far from over.
Причем я бы не сказал, что тут прям, знаешь, тени такие прям офигенно какие. Чтобы не так вот сильно
Echoes of a long-lost past, like
сильно
whispers
грузили
in the
систему.
wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes.
Не думаю,
He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He's happy his good mood is infectious. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing. Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he's here to give you a helping hand.
ты ее покупал или пиратил?
He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored.
Понятно, понятно. Ну, та тоже надо будет запиратить, наверное. Паша как-то за 3000.
He says that wasn't too bad, was it? Way to go. Don't let the sound of the waves drown out your spirit. But you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop trying. He hopes you'll be one of them. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try too hard. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You know you can't make up for lost time. You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. With a passion for learning, you'll never cease to grow.
И вот насчет ценников, вот сравни. Days Gone 3 или 3500. Death Stranding без скидки 3500. И игра про эту панду 3500.
Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. His only interest when creating is that what he comes up with is actually useful. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy to hear that from someone that's a part of the coming generation. You owe it to yourself to protect the environment. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says whatever it is, it shouldn't be left lying around on the ground. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He says only a few are willing to do the little things, but if you make enough of them, they can have a big impact too. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start.
А что лучше? Какую редкость? По нулям или что было, допустим? 40. Ну, видимо, 40.
You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He believes being considerate will help you feel at peace with yourself. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. He thinks mastering the 6 weapon styles of Wang Fu is more than enough for anyone. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on... Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs... Then start by meeting her on the village square and take it from there. She knows you're a free spirit, always on the move, like the wind.
Да, лидер, а насчет мультяшной, ну видишь, тут в принципе очень качественные текстуры. Они тут прям очень качественные. Просто посмотри на эти камни, допустим. Да и в целом картинка весьма-весьма, особенно когда издалека. Вот трава не очень, но в целом текстуры качественные.
They look determined. Better watch out.
Как Гелаксилтон.
He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's not too late for you to turn back, though. There's no way they'll let you pass.
Знаю.
He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he can and can't do, and that includes you. She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Andro?
She says it's nice of you to consider them, but they have weapon training at sunrise tomorrow, so they'll need all the rest they can get.
Asilna tu.
The most important thing is that you're okay.
Kannamunta.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Beri?
She said it before. Wang Fu will keep your body in good health, and that's how you keep your mind strong and clear. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your boss's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He heard you helped Gizmo clean up. He's proud of you. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He wishes that was true for your Muma too, but guiding the village into the future and teaching Wang Fu to her disciples seems more important for every day. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics. He's curious to see what you found. He's all for renewal and has even considered making the trip out into the wilds to look for a bionuclear pool and refresh his DNA. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. Says at least dirty hands are proof that you tried, and that counts. That you failed this time doesn't mean you can't succeed the next. He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found. The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. He knows she's already proud of you and everything you've achieved so far. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He's sure your Muma will forgive you for not wearing the traditional outfit. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this.
Так, я сейчас допройду эту миссию и буду заканчивать.
Kannamunta.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Minalagi mamuru.
Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be.
Taifanamenuma. Mustiki muhka.
She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down.
Tukonda. Problema marsamawundu.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Volakamun brutna.
Wants you to prove that with some practice first.
Volacamo non brukna.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Yo no massa man bruk.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Volakudo.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Anson bara.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Antoro. Anson bara.
That's why you should be sure to thank him for it. Catchy.
Antoro.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
It's intende.
Figuring that out is half the fun.
Kalino. Kanamunt.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Brumblele marsa mambu.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see what...
Yo no massa man bruk.
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you.
Tukonda.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Chialdo male canaru tono.
Says a good rest makes you ready for tomorrow. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Да-да-да-да.
Tukonda.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin.
Kalino. Drova.
There's nowhere to run to this time. The time has come to stand and fight.
Kanyala no toro. Urasa tubut.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead.
Kanamunt.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with...
Antoro. It's intende.
She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow.
И откуда начнем? А где этот? Несколько новую игру, что ли? Походу. О.
Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity, when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. Hack and slash. Slice and dice. Got hurt. It's becoming terminal. You gave them no choice but to take it down, even though they'd planned to take the Fluff Hulk out to the far Fnacky Leaves and let it go. They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus outpost and are waiting for you there. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. Not really. It's west of Bricktown. You can spot Gizmo's Chugyard from the hill it resides on.
Так, ладно, буду заканчивать тогда. Ладно, всем спокойной ночи. До завтра. Хугас, Лидия, спокойной ночи. Золотун тоже.